Hey guys, Romie here. So, please like, comment, subscribe, because this is my review for Mariah's World, Season 1, Episode 6. The show must go on. And so, the episode starts off with Tanaka and, of course, Stella. Tanaka and Stella, they're kind of coordinating because Stella wants Tanaka to wear this lamb costume, which I'm thinking, Stella, I see what you're trying to do. You're saying you can't dance right now, so you kind of amuse Mariah. I have to keep my eye on you, but you kind of amuse and appease Mariah, so I'm going to go and have you wear this lamb costume, because I know that's what you really like. You're just a super fan. You're just infatuated with her. That's what it is, Stella. We see right through it. We see right through it. And, of course, they put it on. Mariah's like, oh my gosh, they did not just do this, but she's loving it. And the main issue, though, one of the main issues in this episode is Stella's daughter, who's 12 years old, has been handling the social media aspect, which on one hand, it's like, that actually does make sense. It makes a lot of sense, but you should always have supervision. The issue is Stella's daughter really isn't being supervised on what she's pretty much posting. So because of that, there's this picture that Andrew sees, and he knows that the media is going to go and eat it up. It's Mariah on the stairs with her butt shown towards us, and of course it looks great. It looks great. The problem is, though, that Andrew's kind of holding her back, and then Tanaka's just looking at her lovingly, and the media's going to eat that up since she's engaged right now. At that point, she was still engaged, and that is a conflict of interest. At the time, Mariah wasn't like, oh, it's not really an issue. And side note, why did Andrew basically insinuate, we gotta go? Because Mariah's like, there's no food here. He said, you don't need to worry about food right now. We need to make sure you can wear these skimpy outfits. I'm like, did he really just say that? Did he, regardless of what intention you have, did that really just come out of your mouth? Come on now. Come on now. You are a grown man. You know how that sounds to a woman. You know how that sounds to a woman. So it looks like he's going to have another issue with another parent, because he is the king of getting in trouble with these parents on this tour. Side note, if you guys don't know, he was fired. Why was he fired? Because Mariah's saying the disaster of performance wouldn't have been as much of a disaster if her singers were up there with her. Whether that's true or not, we don't fully know. But we move on. Now he's trying to coordinate with them to figure out what their next course of action is, because since Tanaka's down, they have to bring in some new people. And they bring in the new people. Well, when I say new people, they brought in a new person. It goes well. This Brazilian dancer, he does a good job. The issue is, basically after the show is done, he goes and hurts himself. He hurts himself backstage. So now Andrew's, what is it? Is it? I feel like his name's Anthony. Anthony is freaking out because now he's down two dancers. He's down two dancers, and on a tour where they're only like 75% done, and the biggest show of the tour, or maybe the biggest upcoming show for the tour is soon. So now they have to go and coordinate, and now he has to bring in two new people instead of just one person, and it's a lot. It's a lot for one person to handle, and I do understand that. But what he needs to understand is that is his job. He's just going to have to go for it. He's just going to have to go and do it and get it done. And he does. He does. That's not the issue. That's not the issue here. But we'll talk about what my issue with him was this episode. Bringing it back to the social media aspect. Mariah Carey, of course, she's a brand, so she also has a new alcohol line. And they're going to go and promote that. They've been doing photo shoots, this and that. But we have a couple of things to work on, because now the press is eating it up. That's like, oh, look at this picture of Mariah. So, okay. So they're going to have to go and talk with Stella's daughter as far as, what she's posting, or at least getting general approval, which I'm looking at it as, we'll get to that, because I'm going to talk about Stella as well. Not in a bad way, just in the type of, I will have assumed that she will have been doing that as well with her daughter. Now, Mariah's getting cozy with Tanaka, because Tanaka needs a little haircut, and she's like, oh, we're going to go, we'll have it covered, we got you, don't worry about it. She's playing with his hair, she's tussling with his hair. Stella needs to go and let me know, Mariah. Everyone sees that you and Tanaka have chemistry, and Mariah says we were very comfortable. Stella even goes and writes on the bed, Mariah and Tanaka, and with a little heart. And And Mariah's like, oh, please stop it. I'm just very comfortable. She says she's very comfortable with him because she's been working with him the longest as far as the people from this particular tour. And that just means a lot to her, having some familiarity. And we get that, we understand that, but we also have two eyes and two ears. We see that Tanaka is infatuated with you. We see that Tanaka loves you. And, as far as infatuation goes, and it is inappropriate. It's not borderline inappropriate. It is inappropriate, regardless if the fact that she and James didn't make it. It doesn't matter. At this time, we're looking at this like, no, this really isn't a good look. This really isn't a good look. Clearly, maybe this is why. This was not why. More so a sign of things with her and James were just like, okay, we kind of cool. Yay, we getting married. We getting married to get married. And this is what it is, type of situation. And they have a little food fight of sorts. It's cute because Mariah, like I said, she likes to be around, fun people. That's what she likes to be around. Fun, lighthearted people who mean well. That's what she really cares most about. So she goes and she talks with Stella's daughter, and she tries to, politely tell her, well, why'd you take that picture? It's like, you look great. It's like, yeah, but they couldn't see my front. Well, I just wanted to show them a different angle because they always see you from the front. It's like, yeah, okay, well, in the future, just have the pictures pre-approved, or at least just show me. Now, again, because this is someone else's daughter, so Mariah is being very, very respectful in regards to Stella's daughter. And Stella's daughter wasn't, being rude. She's just being, a 12-year-old girl. So it's like, all right, this is my job. This is fun. You look hot. You have a nice butt. Oh, and she was like, what? Excuse me, but she didn't use the word butt. I was like, what? Excuse me? That is Stella's daughter. That is Stella's daughter. I had to chuck it up as that is Stella's daughter, but no, you, not her, not the daughter, but Stella, you need to make sure that an adult is approving those pictures. And when I say an adult, I don't mean you. I mean someone else, a real third party. Have Chris do it. Because Chris seems like the other, Danielle, she's for the most part pretty chill. So have Chris do it. Because he seems, aside from Mariah, probably the second most chill person on this tour. And level-headed. Which is really important when you're dealing with creative people. Because creative people have a tendency to be very, unfortunately, emotional. And not emotional in the good way. Emotional in the, oh my gosh, oh, chill out. Mariah kind of showcases how she has a good relationship with her fans, and now that's all great and all. Tanaka is going to get new clothes because he lost his suitcase. I'm thinking, how did Tanaka, everyone else, lose a suitcase? But whatever, it happens. It's possible. He loses his suitcase. They're getting them fitted, and Mariah's just like, oh, okay. She's very excited because it's just like, oh, well, I like that in you. Because I'm sure this is like, get her mind off things that she's stressing over. It's fun. She can just play around with Tanaka a little bit, but not go too far. It's fun for her. But what I really loved and then started to feel bad for was when she did the dress shopping, the dress fitting with her and Monroe. Because I was like, oh, look at Monroe. Look at her. She's so cute. And I looked like Mariah. I was like, oh, Mariah, I wish you got married. But I'm like, no, you can't be married to someone that's not a good fit for you. But I was like, but that dress and how you look in it, and she's like this right now. I was like, Mariah, you looking good. Oh, Mariah, why? Why? We all believe in love and want love, but you could just go through with the wedding and then, this is a joke, by the way, from what I'm saying, because you do not do that. Mariah Carey doesn't need to go through any wedding that she doesn't want to do. James doesn't have to go through any wedding he doesn't want to do. James is in town, though. James is back. James is in town, and he's there to see her perform, to see her on tour, and the whole thing is, it's Stella's birthday party, so they're also celebrating Stella's birthday party. Of course, she's very appreciative. Mariah loves celebrations, so I feel like if I just started yesterday, she'd throw me a party. I feel, not even joking, I feel like that's just how it is once you're in her camp and in her circle. Tanaka's slowly starting to realize, oh, their relationship is kind of real, and maybe I was living in the fantasy world, and maybe what I was doing was actually inappropriate. While this is all going on, Anthony goes and he has these two new dancers, and they're two new French dancers for the last leg of the tour. He's trying to get them up to speed, and it's very difficult because they're doing a good job, but it's very hard to go and deal with work with someone who's such an A-lister, because you see them and it's polarizing. So he has to get them comfortable. But Mariah says, yeah, I have to be comfortable with them too, because they're lifting me up in the air and I don't know them. When I did it with 4 people, it was very nerve-wracking. So doing it with 6 and 2 new people with 4 familiar, 2 new, that's even worse. I feel like Mariah just needs to stop doing the lift, because if she's that uncomfortable with it, then she shouldn't do it. Because anything could happen, and that's Mariah Carey. You can't have anything happen to someone like a Mariah Carey. So, like I said, if Mariah Carey doesn't feel comfortable with it, why are we still doing this? And that's my thing, bringing it back to Anthony. Anthony's been having her do... I understand the visuals and for the fans, but hello, she's still a person. She's still a person. If she doesn't want to be hoisted in the dang air by 6 guys, then she doesn't want to be hoisted in the air by 6 guys. Plain and simple. Because even when she did it live, she didn't look comfortable doing it. And it wasn't because they had 1 night of practice. And it wasn't even 1 day, it was like 1 night of practice. They lifted her up maybe twice. Maybe twice. And I'm supposed to be comfortable with that? I'm supposed to be comfortable with being, 7 feet, 6 or 7 feet off of the ground in the air by these 6 dudes, 4 of which I know, 2 I don't. What? How does that possibly make sense? And throughout this whole show, we've been seeing how he's been putting his input, and kind of at one point when they were having that conversation, it didn't feel like a conversation. It was like, okay, we just need to do this. I understand he was stressed, so that's why the energy was coming off that way, because she gave him this look of, I love you, and I respect you, and I know that you respect me right now. I don't necessarily feel it. The cameras are here, so I'm not going to act a fool, because that's not how I normally act, period. But trust and believe, after the cameras get off, we're going to have a conversation, because you're not doing that ever again. No. And Mariah, because Prince died, and of course she was very emotional. Prince was a close friend of hers, and she did a tribute. She sung Hero. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, she's going to sing. Now, because of the whole debacle with, in general, how people talked about her lip singing, and the thing with New Year's Eve, I'm just looking at this like, okay, is this going to be Mariah? Or is this going to be Mariah backing track? It was Mariah! I was like, oh, okay. And I was okay with it because, 1, she's emotional, so it's still going to be different than how she normally could do it. 2, Mariah Carey is a legend. She's been doing this for so long with that octave and range and all of that. She has vocal nodules on her vocal cords, been afraid to do the surgery because she was afraid of losing her voice, because especially back in the day, because she probably would have if she did it back in the day, as far as like how the surgeries went, and what she has is different than what most people have, period. So I get it, but I feel like now at this point, if they're saying you could do the surgery and you'll be fine, there won't be health complications, or you'll have a slight, I would honestly just go and give it a shot, because you can tell Mariah Carey wants to sing like how she used to, but you know, she had to change the chords around, change the keys around, move it around, go down, not just flat out sing and belt. That's really the main thing that's different with Mariah's 2016, 2017 voice. She can't just go and do the same basically vocal acrobatics that she used to do. That's really the main difference, to be honest. That is the main difference. And is it a big difference? Yeah, it's definitely a big difference. Tanaka goes and realizes that Mariah is in a relationship. She's in a relationship with James, and that he and her have just been having fun, but he can't look at it the way that he did, because now that James is in front of him, Mariah, and of course Mariah's all over her fiance, he sees that, maybe, everything that I envisioned for us isn't going to be a reality, and I have to accept that. So, that's pretty much it. That's it for now. We'll see if Mariah and James get into that blow-up and decide to break off the engagement in the next episode. At some point it has to, because this is episode 6. How many episodes we have left? Like 2 or 4? Either way, it's going to happen soon. So please like, comment, subscribe. Come back next week. Let me know what you think.